Kase ababeto apono so mu say one of Ghana's former Inspector General of Police IGP sabrede watwa nananom ewo ensiedo. Now this happens to be a IGP Paul Teria Kwe said the one was screens no so say former Inspector General of Police Paul Teria Kwe dead. Now ya and asare who same way ebe told ja ama the police service ni muno ayare who ye person said this man served a year within the years of 2009 and 2013 na wobone ho modene papa amanfo bebre eni so na dwumedi a wobedi ye wo Ghana hanum say nanso ene areho sem a aba no echem say we film just like it a lot of media outlets are talking about it. And Osha, this is coming from Joy News. As a former Inspector General of Police, Paul Teria Kwe passes on. Now, asem no ayare hu ye pa uko social media so a man for bebre edi ya consem ema the former IGP Yera Paul Teria Kwe on the demise amanfo nso edi shedding ensem ama nebusuafo enam omode hia wo mo ahwere no eso amanfo bebre ena omode omo condolences akọ edi ama the former IGP ebusuafo ewo niwu a owu ye no eho. He died at the age of 73 no ena amanfo chem say well it's sad though say we're free mo but then yehwemu a nimfie no kwa animu kakra and Paul Teria Kwe wonipa wo man appointment no the late John Evans Atamels wono ene appointing no as the IGP during his tenure from May 16th May 16, 2009 to February 5th, 2013 and no survey as the IGP at the Ghana Mai. Right now, we are still hoping send the Bushian ebeba out na fe omotimi ede ensemwa enamso anade namso we free mono ede ebeba beto mountain. So we'll keep you updated on that particular issue. But still on issues ekoso ewa Ghana hanum say no. It looks like Rebecca say the bail condition of 30 million yede ema abutreka no mekani say a trigger a whole lot of things hanum say because me know say there is a death issue is related to romance scam of about £1 million of a 69-year-old woman will free the United Kingdom UK mine emu na same way see somewhere 2023 na afei and after 3 years 2026 asem no aba into the limelight now the entire amount for bebre so much interested in this particular case. As you can see on the screens, a 69-year-old English widow dies in car crash in Ghana after losing up to £1 million in romance fraud. No, the fact say, and then ne beto just say abutreka ni case no ye jemu ama and yes ye jemu but ye money bail of 30 million Ghana cedis with 2 sureties na ye gusua wo mo process asem no ye da sorry ye pe Sky News reported the demise of this woman that happened on 14th February 2023. Or more report, I'm for chem say na denti na dead news and na asem we twemu na afi na moye den. More reporting. Is it trying to push an agenda? Say, it's true. Ghana had the scam unti abranti and then what's the agenda? Na said now let's delve into this whole story. Intuition screens and say Mrs. Forham traveled to Ghana to meet a man named Kofi. Despite her family's desperate attempt to intervene, her daughter Melanine noted that because her mother was legally of sound mind, authorities could not prevent her from going. Even though the family believed she had been brainwashed, the relationship began when Kofi contacted Mrs. Fordham, claiming to be a doctor who had found her contact information on a phone in a repair shop. He gained her trust by alleging he wanted to help her recover funds lost in previous scams. Mrs. Fordham was killed when their vehicle crashed while traveling from Accra to the Oti region, where they reportedly intended to seek family approval for marriage. Enti echema Mrs. Fonham widow ni kuna wum na wati UK ho no ye na dwuma nkakra ene ade na edwuma no ye ni mu no ho na abrante bia ne din di Kofi reach out to her na abrante no reach out to her no ene o ka che ne se ohun se maame no ne number wo phone bia wo repair shop no abrante Kofi no oye doctor na opeso oboa maame no na scam already maame no ye di kan scam no wako into relationships with people all in the name of I love you ni ade and my scam ne pen enti Kofi share ne boss obeboa no na ni sika na akodi nkofo ho no mo age ene maami every UK wo ba ne yese ne ba kire ne se emma o se meba na police force ye hwehwe nye because your mom is she's mentally sound na adwemu da ho onim de oye yesi ni kwan a enye ye eno ndi odi bepie mu Ghana ha eno mu dididi mu a Kofi ene Mrs. Fordham chemu a wo mu ko ware enti wo mu ko oti region no makoye processes for the marriage and all that no ena chese wo mu ka no ekonya akwanhia woto anananom ewo ensiedo now Sky News enso report e medi kan dada say Sky News report about mami ni wo ni ho but dey wanwan amanfo dwen wo munti ase ne say why now after 3 whole years now we share screens ne so I was saying widow died in Ghana crash after losing up to £1 million in romance fraud in Inquest hears enti Usha Nsemnimwa, or say Janet Fordham, 69, fell victim to 3 romance scams between 2017 and 2022. She then traveled over 4,000 miles to Ghana in a bid to recoup her losses. And to Omuchema, Janet, with this 69 years in Vishay Edrosian Chrome, one scamming 3 solid times. Now, 3 times, you know, see, 2013 to 2022 nimu and 2023 okonya akwenhia and now scamming ninti wo free UK eba Ghana se wo ba be pre na wenya ne sika akodi scammers for yi ho and when nam so do say a widow died in a car crash in Ghana after losing up to £1 million in several romance fraud that saw her lose her life savings and home in an inquest head. Inti so muchema. Maame no £1 million rai and I say kodi scammers for way. Na the life savings the juma din a why sebi ni fie kra no. Wo hire ni fie ni ade san se bosia ni ade no ankobo no. Enya asem keto. Say Janet Fordham 69 suffered fatal injuries in the collision on 14th February 2023 after coming to the country to marry a Ghanaian man she met online who claimed he could help her get the money back into Ghana ha say oba be ware Ghana ni be ma ye friend Kofi so oba boano na ni sika bia kwakodi scammers for nsem no all in the name of love ni ade no nensa etimi aka o say Mrs. Fordham had fallen victim to several online scams during a 5-year period that saw her lose her home and life savings estimated to be up to £1 million. Devon Coroner's Court head. Inti kopie mu court no. And the beto just say mami online ya fraud de jume ya de ya. And mami ekoto scammers phone semwa. And sika be £1 million there. A free nensa ni fie the life savings near the ade nyina abono. Ama asem no akopie mu ewo court. Also when she traveled to Ghana, the retired housekeeper was living in a caravan at the home of her son, Martin, and daughter-in-law, Melanin Fordham, in Huntington, Devon. Inti omu chema, maame no to kwan ba Ghana. She's a retired housekeeper. Why a housekeeper sa bra to susu dia to ma scammers for abedada or in the name of love because you are a widow. And ono so edi ni sika ye den. Ama omu na so na ote ne ba be my friend Martin. Ene na soba melanin enchen na omo ebo bra wono de o se wo ba Ghana abeji ni sikenti wo de ekohia obi a friend Kofi online. She started using online dating websites in 2017 and met a man who claimed to be a British Army sergeant major working in Syria and needed her help to get gold bars to the UK. enti yesi 2017 afini mu na maami we sha se eja kuneni so ma mempe obi nka me ho na eja ye nyina ye nhwimbom, who knows, maybe I might find love again. And no started so all call online dating sites eso na woko PM wo ho no eno kohia brante bi a wochem se wo British Army Sergeant Major na oye adwuma wo Syria na Syria ho no no ohia moa kakra se de be ya obetimi di gold bars abe PM wo UK. Mrs. Fordham told her family that they were in love and that they were retiring to return to the UK, with the couple wanting to buy a house together. Her daughter-in-law said, adding that she warned her the man would be asking for money. Enti bro shia sergeant here omo hwibo muni ade obo ne ba no ene ne daughter-in-law na money no mo che ne say we there we are not having a good feeling about it, because Osha said the okika nsem no fane dia usika no page mami say oh who no find love before only the watia shodom tie nya no and then your course or say Melanie Fordham added, I told her categorically not to send him any. Janet had been sending money to him, but we didn't find out about this until years later. I believe she gave him around £150,000. And so much ma no onwa wia ne ho esane sika ne kakranka de ma branche ya sika ne ye keka bomu a keka ko be £150,000 and o de ma branche. O say Mrs. Fordham later learned she had been defrauded again by a diplomat after her UK bank accounts were frozen. But her family said they don't know how she transitioned from one fraud to the next. And to what say UK, this kind of foreign countries are monitor system pa. Even your own bank account, they'll be monitoring for you. And to do baby no be say who yiska dodoa yet me freeze the account, because sometimes they might think it's an intruder. And to ban sa no mo freeze my main account, not knowing what pe kwan for so kra send sky. You mean one say fraud first one year fraud then one tefo. Amwasa koto another fraud mu ebiem. Or say Melanie Fordham said her mother-in-law transferred money by several means, including bank transfers, wire transfers at the post office, and potentially a travel agent. But the banks and post office stopped her mother-in-law from using their services because they recognized it was a fraud. Inti edru baby no said na wa send sika na che a da bia wo de kono bank fo ne kra be hu se mami sika ya wo send de enkofo na eda da wo ju sika di nto mo de mo si ne kwan. She went further to be giving the money to people e bia wo tu kwan na wo kokro na ni nipa no wo so no otimi di sika ne ma wo se okwa a fa koma nipa no na otimi se mami na odo no edidi ni tirim pa, because tell me why. Also, third man promised to help recover funds. So this is where the Ghana man comes in. Kofi. Also, the Inquest head, another man named Kofi, contacted Mrs. Fordham, claiming he was a doctor in Ghana who worked part-time at a friend's mobile phone repair shop, where he supposedly found a phone containing messages to and from Mrs. Fordham. Kofi claimed he contacted Mrs. Fordham because he believed she had been scammed and wanted to help her get money back. Melanie Fordham said police spoke to Mrs. Fordham about Kofi, but officers could not further the investigations as she failed to respond. And after the two scam no and obeto another scam mu a ono ne friend Kofi a ono na nam so mama mi ekonya akwanhia abro mu ko original ko wuye na nti echema Kofi ne kwa na reach out to maame no che ne se ne nsa aka phone bi na maame no wahu omo chat ne ade na said the chat ne tie no timu se nipa no ask him. So this is telling us if it is really true there said there were contacts and there were conversations and say nipa no di kind for them maame no ebi ano no so ebetimi ayega ni, but that is how maame Janet encounter Kofi a odibe PM e Ghana ha. When you continue, there are a lot of ways maame SNE sika ATMs near there eventually odibe PM Ghana with the assurance say Kofi ese obeboa no ama ni sika bia when we defrauded no agye free ni nsem no obe retrieve sika no e de amane back. But unfortunately ena wodi ebenya na kwenhya wo ewo Ghana hanum say it has caused a whole lot of reactions. I been muchem said this is very sad, and this is the reason why womoti ase de nti abrofo ne di omani asi Ghana mrantie so eba ne fraud ne scamming, because 50 time aye che eye hajia for real okode mu ba ye mrantie ya che omo the last person aye handle ni dey say ya abutrika, and you see how the case is going now. Utimi say Ghana form pesa abutrika beko, but before no so any abrese they need him. Then say omo hwehwe omo ade share any idea because of this whole scam issue. Now ye be follow and semino na yamamo update. Moving on to